guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I got this makeup look. I just let the brush lead the way today guys, and this is what I come up with. I kind of went for zebra vibes, but then it turned out like this abstract effect. It's kind of got like a zigzag pattern to it, but I really love how it's turned out. I thought I'd quickly mention that all products used are cruelty free as well. Yeah, if you're interested in seeing how I got this look, just keep on watching. Okay guys, so I've done one eye off camera just to save a little bit of time. I haven't applied my lashes yet, we'll do that later. So I'm going to carve up my brows and prime my lid using the Too Faced Born This Way Sculpting Concealer in the shade Shortbread. I'm just applying quite a thick amount of this to the lid. And then I'm just going to start by carving out the brows with my concealer brush.
A pair of jeans, a shirt or two. We didn't practice if we weren't going back.
And cover the entire lid, just so that we've got a nice base ready for the eyeshadow. When doing a bright look like this, you really need to set the lids first. I then go in with my beauty blender just to blend that out further.
It doesn't matter if it's true. I've got a feeling love will give us what we
I'm not going to set that with a powder today because I really want something for that eyeshadow to stick onto. So I'm just going in with my finger to make sure there's no creases. I'm going to be going back and forth between a couple of different palettes today guys, just to give you the heads up. I'm taking the Carnival palette by Stacey and BPerfect, and I'm also taking the Jaclyn Hill original palette. So with a big clean fluffy brush I'm taking the shade Mint from the Stacey palette. I'm just going to slowly start packing that on to the crease. So just tapping it on really gently. So going up and over the entire lid.
The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. Yeah. And if it's not enough.
So by packing it on instead of brushing it, you're really getting the most colour payoff. So you can build it up gradually. So once it's looking something like that, then we're going to start blending the edges out. So as you can see with this eye, I've brought it really quite high up. So we're going to do the same this side. Just circular motions, slowly blending that shade up towards the brow. I'm using a really light hand guys. You don't want to go in with a heavy hand when you're blending your eyeshadow out. Okay, so once it's kind of blended like that, I'm going in with the Jaclyn Hill palette now. I'm going to take this mint green shade. It's really similar but it's just slightly darker. And I'm just blending that into the crease as well. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's just like a shade darker than the previous shade. I'm going to take the shade Envy from the Carnival palette, which is kind of like an emerald green shade. I'm just placing that in the crease. So directly into the crease. So I'm not blending this up at all. So I'm literally just tapping it up and over the lid. As you can see on this side, this is a full cut crease. Just continuing to blend that in circular motions. And don't worry about all this fallout guys. That's why I'm doing the eyes first. We'll wipe it away later. Okay, going back in with the mint shade, which is the lightest green shade, and blending everything out. Once it's looking something like that, I'm going to go in with the darkest green shade, which is like a deep khaki shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's almost like a black. So I'm going to pick that up on a small blending brush. This is literally one of my favourite brushes. I have no clue where it's from. The name's completely rubbed off, but I've had it years. So dipping into that shade. So this is where you want to start getting a bit more careful. So we're going to go up and over the lid, but I'm just tapping it on really lightly. I'm almost placing it in a half circle up and over the lid. I'm packing it on quite low down, so it is actually going on the lid as well, but don't worry about that because we're going to go and cut the crease in a moment anyway. So just keep packing that on all the way until you get to the inner corner. Okay, and then with that brush I'm just going to blend that in circular motions before I go in with a bigger brush. Switching up my brush and taking the shade Envy again, and I'm going to be using that shade to blend the darkest green shade out. So using a really light hand again, just blending the edges lightly. That fallout though. I do find these palettes have quite a lot of fallout, but fallout doesn't bother me in the slightest because I know I can just wipe it away. But if you're someone who likes to do the face first, then yeah, maybe look for a palette with less fallout. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with how this is looking. So now I'm going to cut the crease. So I'm just taking that Too Faced concealer on the back of my hand, and I'm going to be dipping my brush into this as I'm going along. I'm using this small rounded brush to cut the crease. So you want to mark it out so it's level with the other eye first. I think that's pretty level. And then start creating your cut crease. So you just want to follow the shape of your lid. If you want it to be a bright white, then obviously you'd wipe away that shadow and then you would just use a white concealer or a white base. I actually quite like it when the concealer mixes with the shade. It just creates like a minty green effect. I will be going in with a bit of white eyeshadow just to brighten it a bit, but I like the effect this gives. Whilst I'm here guys, I just wanted to take this opportunity and use this platform to speak about what's going on right now. I'm not going into it too much because you guys know what's going on. It just angers me that we are in the year 2020 and this is still going on in the world. I don't understand why this is still a thing. Petitions that need signing, you can make donations if you can. That's all I have to say, but let's make a change and let's be that change. Moving on from that then guys, I just want to take a quick minute to say my piece. I'm just picking up a white shade and I'm just going to set that concealer in place with this white shade. It doesn't make it completely white, it just sort of brightens it up a little bit. So it still looks like a minty green shade. I'm literally just packing that on all over the lid. This is where we're going to go in with the stripes. I literally just used my eyeliner for this. So this is the Wet n Wild Megaliner in the shade Black. I'm just going to line my lash line with this first. So just keeping it as close to the lash line as possible. Basically I'm just trying to do like a zebra pattern, but it ended up being like this abstract looking thing. So yeah, let's give it a go. I'm going to start on the outside and work my way in.
Tomorrow feels a year away, like the seconds, the beginning and the end. But if in time it's yesterday, your picture's gonna bring it home to me again. The world is waiting up.
I'm gonna let my eye dry, apply my lashes off camera, and then I'll be back, guys. So moving on to the skin, I'm going to be taking the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer, my absolute favourite primer. And I love the consistency of this and it's so affordable. For foundation, I'm going to take the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Sand. I'm running out of this, guys, badly. So I'm just taking a few pumps of that, applying it to my face. My camera battery is flashing. Why does it always do this? I'm going to blend that out with a damp beauty blender. I'm aware this isn't the best colour match, but I'll make it work. I'm such a strange colour at the moment. All of my foundation shades match my fake tan, but because it's summer I haven't been wearing fake tan. I got a bit of a tan, but when I tan I go like a warm toned tan, so I really need to purchase a new foundation which matches my original tan. But we'll make it work, so don't panic, guys. I'm going to apply my concealer and my cream contour, guys. So for concealer I'm taking the Too Faced Born This Way again. And this is so full coverage. I'm just going to apply a little bit underneath my eyes, to my forehead, down the centre of my nose and my chin. I'm going to take a brush first to start blending this out, and then any excess product I'll go in with my beauty blender.
Wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch my photos where you go.
And then whatever's left on the brush, I'm just taking that underneath my cheekbones. To cream contour, I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C14. Haven't used this for a while. I'm just applying that on the high points of my cheekbone, so up here, so I never drag it all the way down. And then just around top of my forehead, down the sides of my nose, around my lips, and of course the double chin. And then I'm just going to start buffing that out. Circular motions. So you always want to apply your contour further up, because this is where your contour line is, but if you apply it there and blend it down, it'll end up dragging the product too far down your cheek. It's a trick I learned from Carly Bible. And then blend in the forehead. Again, pushing that back into the hairline. Taking a smaller brush to blend out the lips and the nose. So I always blend the nose contour inwards and upwards, so I flick it up and in. And not forgetting the chin. I'm going to quickly bake using the Makeup Revolution Bake and Finish powder. I'm just going to take my Sigma sponge and I'm going to press that into the skin underneath the eyes. Also taking that on my chin, down my nose, on my forehead, just a little bit. So we're looking something like that, and I'm going to start blending that away instantly. I don't like to bake for too long. Blend that away. And then just to set my whole face, I'm going to take the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I'm just applying that to all the areas that I would usually get oily. I've been absolutely loving this bronzer lately, guys. So it's the Milani Dolce bronzer, which looks like this. Just applying a little bit of that to my cheekbones. So I'm tapping it on first and then sort of swooshing it back into the hairline. Is that even a word? Swooshing. Again, tapping and swooshing. Guys, I've just invented a new makeup word. The bronzer is where we match the skin tone, so it doesn't actually look too bad, but I'm just going to apply a little bit to my chest, neck and shoulders. just so that we're looking one colour. Just ignore my tan lines there. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. For blusher, I'm taking the Wet n Wild blusher in the shade Mellow Wine and applying that to the apples of my cheeks. To highlight, I'm going to take the Ofra Rodeo Drive highlighter. This is one of my absolute favourite highlighters, guys. It's really, really good if you like a wet looking highlighter. Yeah, it's amazing. So I just apply that to the apples of my cheeks here, on my nose, on my Cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin. I also apply that above the eyebrow and sort of swoosh it up. Going in with a swooshing again, guys. Just blend it upwards. Going back in with a small blending brush, and I'm going to take the Jaclyn Hill palette. So I'm going to blend this mint shade first and then sort of gradually blend that out into the dark green. So just blending that underneath the eyes. Make sure you tap off the excess because you don't want to fall out at this point. Taking my LA Girl Gel Glide Liner in the shade Black, and I'm just applying this to my waterline. My favourite Colourpop Flexitarian highlighter to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. Do a makeup look without this, guys. For lips, I'm taking the Peaches and Cream Punchline Lip Liner. I'm taking Lime Crime Coquette. Just applying a little bit of that to the centre because I am going to be going in with a gloss. Then going in with my Peaches and Cream gloss in the shade Hunny. Set my face using the Morphe mist. And then applying a coat of mascara to my bottom lashes. So guys, this is the final result. I hope you guys like it. I absolutely love it. It was supposed to be like a zebra print, but it's kind of looking like an abstract effect. I don't know what to call this look. Zebra, abstract. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for watching as always. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't already. It means the absolute world. Thank you so much for watching as always, and until the next video, I'll see you all really soon, guys. Bye. For blusher, I'm taking the Wet n Wild blusher in the shade Mellow Wine. Wine, I said that funny then. I also apply that, ooh. I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush, I'm going to take my LA Girl